Let me start with a confession. For years, I thought I was a productivity master. I had the color-coded planner, the endless to-do lists, the early alarms, the apps with shiny features promising to optimize my workflow. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. I was busy, but I wasn't actually productive. I was drowning in habits that looked smart, but secretly stole my time and energy. And if you've ever felt like you're working harder than ever but still not getting anywhere, chances are you're stuck in the same trap. Let's break it down. Yuppers. Habit number 1. Endless to-do lists. The sacred to-do list. It feels so satisfying, doesn't it? You jot down 20 tasks in the morning, you cross off a few by lunch, and you trick yourself into feeling accomplished. The problem? Most of us treat our to-do list like a dumping ground for every random thought and microtask that pops into our heads. I used to write things like answer emails, organize desktop icons, or sharpen pencils, just to feel the rush of checking them off. Meanwhile, the real priorities, the projects that actually moved me forward, got buried under the noise. The scary part? A bloated to-do list doesn't make you productive. It makes you reactive. You spend your day bouncing between small, low-impact tasks that feel safe and achievable while avoiding the work that actually matters. The fix? Keep it short. Ruthless even. 3 big, meaningful tasks per day, no more. If everything is important, nothing is. Lawrence. Habit number 2. Waking up at 5 a.m. just because everyone else does. Somewhere along the way, waking up before sunrise became the holy grail of productivity advice. All successful people wake up early, the internet chants. And like a good disciple, I forced myself to join the 5 a.m. club. Here's what happened. I was miserable. I stumbled around half asleep, clutching coffee like a lifeline, and by 2 p.m., I was useless. I wasn't building an empire, I was building under-eye circles. The truth? Waking up early only helps if it works for you. Some people thrive in the morning, others do their best work at night. Forcing yourself into someone else's schedule doesn't make you more productive, it makes you more exhausted. Productivity isn't about following a rigid rulebook. It's about understanding your own rhythms and building habits that actually align with your energy. If that's 5 a.m., great. If it's 10 a.m., also great. What matters is what you do with your hours, not when they start. Choppers. Habit number 3. Obsessive note-taking and highlighting. Let me tell you a story. I once read an entire book about productivity, ironic, I know, and highlighted nearly every other sentence. My notes were meticulous, my margins filled with little stars and arrows. I felt brilliant, like I'd unlocked the secrets of the universe. But ask me what I remembered a month later? Almost nothing. That's the trap. Obsessive note-taking, endless highlighting, and over-documenting tricks you into believing you're learning and growing. But unless you actually apply what you wrote down, it's just a prettier version of procrastination. Knowledge without action is wasted. A shelf of highlighted books means nothing if your behavior stays the same. A better habit? Learn less. Apply more. Read one chapter, then practice the lesson. Take one note, then test it in your daily life. Productivity is built in action, not in colored pens. Habit number 4. Saying yes to everything. For years, I thought saying yes was the ultimate productivity flex. Sure, I can take that meeting. Yes, I'll help with that project. Of course, I'll jump on that call. Every yes felt like progress, like I was building connections, building momentum, building something. In reality, I was building resentment and burnout. My calendar was packed, my energy drained, and at the end of each week, I couldn't point to a single thing I'd truly accomplished. Saying yes to everything isn't productivity. It's people-pleasing dressed up as ambition. Every yes you give someone else is a no. You take from yourself. A no to your goals. A no to your peace of mind. A no to progress that actually matters to you. The real skill? Saying no with confidence. No isn't rude, it's protection. It's creating space for the work and life that matter most. Habit number 5. Multitasking. Like a supercomputer. I used to wear multitasking like a badge of honor. Picture this. Me with 15 browser tabs open, half writing an email, half listening to a podcast, while dinner burned in the oven. I felt like a superhero. But the truth? I wasn't doing many things at once. I was doing many things badly. Science backs this up. Our brains aren't built to truly multitask. What we're actually doing is task switching, bouncing back and forth, burning energy with every shift. It feels busy, but it costs us time, focus, and accuracy. Here's the harsh reality. Multitasking isn't a superpower. It's a super drain. The most productive people I've ever met weren't juggling 10 things at once. They were giving their full attention to one thing at a time, finishing it, and then moving on. Focus is the new flex. Chakras, the bigger picture. Now, maybe you've fallen into one or all of these traps. Don't beat yourself up. I did too. For years, I convinced myself I was being productive while secretly running in circles. The problem isn't that these habits are evil. It's that they masquerade as progress. They keep you busy enough to feel like you're moving forward, but distracted enough to avoid the deep, meaningful work that actually changes things. Real productivity isn't about looking productive. It's not about filling every hour with activity. It's about impact. It's about asking, did what I do today actually matter? The shift. The day everything changed for me wasn't when I found the perfect app or mastered some new hack. It was when I admitted the truth. Half my productive habits were just clever procrastination. Once I stripped those away, things got clearer. Fewer tasks, but more meaningful ones. Fewer hours worked, but better results. Fewer yeses, but more progress. And ironically, that's when life started to feel lighter. Productivity stopped being a performance and started being a tool. Your turn. So here's my question for you. Which of these habits has been quietly, almost invisibly, eating up your time and energy? Be brutally honest with yourself for a moment. Are you hiding behind those endless lists? The ones that look impressive on paper, but deep down, don't actually move the needle? Are you punishing yourself with brutal early alarms, dragging yourself out of bed at an hour that feels unnatural, all because you think that's what successful people should do, even though it leaves you drained, foggy, and worn out before your day even begins? Or maybe your struggle looks different. Maybe you're drowning in stacks of notes, pages of highlights, and carefully curated journals that seem neat and organized, but when you really pause to check, they never actually turn into action. Or maybe you're the one who can't stop saying yes. Yes to every meeting, every favor, every opportunity that sounds important in the moment. You keep stretching yourself thinner and thinner until you're left exhausted, resentful, and strangely unfulfilled, wondering why your own goals never seem to make it to the top of the pile. And then there's multitasking, the seductive lie we've all fallen for. Maybe you're trying to juggle too many things at once, flipping between tasks like a circus act, convincing yourself you're being efficient, when in reality you're scattering your focus and draining your energy in ways that only leave you more frazzled. Here's the challenge I want you to try. Pick just one of these habits to confront this week. Not all 5. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just one. Give yourself permission to loosen your grip on a single habit that isn't truly serving you and see what happens. Maybe it's choosing to skip the monster to-do list and instead focusing on 3 meaningful tasks that actually move your life forward. Maybe it's letting yourself wake up at your natural rhythm instead of forcing yourself into someone else's routine. Maybe it's saying no once, even if your voice shakes and it feels terrifying in the moment. Whatever you choose, test it. Play with it. Notice how your days feel when you cut it back, flip it around, or simply pause it for a while. And here's what I promise. The shift won't just show up in your calendar. It won't just be about the number of hours you free up. The change will run deeper. It'll show up in how you feel at the end of the day, in the sense of clarity you carry into your evening, in the satisfaction of actually finishing what matters, in the quiet relief of knowing you're no longer burning energy on habits that only looked productive. That's where the real transformation begins. That's where productivity stops being a performance and starts being a way of life that finally feels sustainable. Or maybe your struggle looks different. Maybe you're drowning in stacks of notes, pages of highlights and carefully curated journals that seem neat and organized. But when you really pause to check, they never actually turn into action. Or maybe you're the one who can't stop saying yes. Yes to every meeting, every favor, every opportunity that sounds important in the moment. You keep stretching yourself thinner and thinner until you're left exhausted, resentful, and strangely unfulfilled, wondering why your own goals never seem to make it to the top of the pile. Here's the secret most people don't want to admit. Productivity isn't about doing more. It never has been. It's not about cramming your days with endless tasks, ticking off every box, or juggling a dozen plates just to prove you're busy. Real productivity is about doing less, but doing it with laser focus, with clear intention, and with steady consistency. And yet, look around. The world is overflowing with so-called productivity habits, endless hacks, shiny apps, and complicated systems. They sparkle on the surface and they look impressive when you share them online. They give you that fleeting rush of feeling organized, like you're finally on top of things. But if you strip away the appearance, you'll see what's really happening. Many of these habits don't save you time at all. They quietly steal it. They eat away at your most valuable, irreplaceable resource, your hours, your energy, your life. The real power, the real leverage, doesn't come from adding layer after layer of busy work. It comes when you strip away all that noise. It comes when you stop pretending that busyness equals progress, when you quit measuring your worth by how much you can cram into a day, and instead start giving your best energy to the handful of things that actually matter. That's the shift. That's the turning point. That's the moment when productivity stops feeling heavy and suffocating and starts to feel lighter, simpler, and infinitely more rewarding. Knowledge without action is wasted. A shelf of highlighted books means nothing if your behavior stays the same. A better habit? Learn less, apply more. Read one chapter, then practice the lesson. Take one note, then test it in your daily life. Productivity is built in action, not in colored pens. So don't let this be just another article you skim. Don't just nod along, agree for a moment, and then forget everything the instant another notification buzzes on your phone. Don't let these words fade into the blur of digital noise that's already fighting for your attention. Let this be the spark that makes you pause for real. Let it be the nudge that forces you to look at your own habits more closely and ask yourself the harder questions. Which ones are truly helping me move forward? And which ones, no matter how polished they look on the surface, are actually holding me back? And if you're ready to go deeper, if you're genuinely tired of chasing productivity for the sake of appearances, if you're done collecting hacks that don't actually change anything, if you want to finally cut out the fluff and build habits that move the needle, then don't disappear. Stick around, subscribe, stay connected. Join me in this process of figuring it out together. We'll do it step by step, one small but powerful change at a time until it finally sticks. Because here's the truth most people avoid. You don't need to pile more onto your life to feel productive. You don't need more tools, more tricks, or more shiny systems. What you need, what will change everything, is the courage to let go of what's been quietly wasting your time. Only then can you reclaim what matters most. And the best time to start isn't tomorrow. It isn't next week. It isn't someday when things finally calm down, or when life magically gets easier. The best time, the only time, you can start is today. Right now. In this very moment.